Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to use 2publish+ to create a fact file. So we're going to use our knowledge about biographies, remember from last week. But this time I want us to look at LGBT people because it's LGBT History Month. Now LGBT, a lot of people don't know, it stands for lesbian, gay, bisexual or transgender people. These people who are not heterosexual, who are not attracted to the same people, or in the case of transgender people, people who have a different gender identity to the gender they were born with. And there's lots of these people throughout history, especially British history, that are quite surprising that you might not know about. And this is a good opportunity to find out more about them. Certainly in the course of researching this lesson, I found out loads of people that I otherwise wouldn't have known about, including even like kings and queens of England. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I'm going to create one. And the person I've decided to look up is Alan Turing. And to find out more about Alan Turing, what I'm going to do is a bit like last time. Whoops! I'm going to go to Wikipedia and find out some stuff here. So here's Alan Turing. And the great thing about this is that I know that the picture of Alan Turing on Wikipedia is in the public domain. If you look down, it says public domain. If you remember from our citing, that means that I don't have to get permission to use it. I don't even need to say who it is because it's public domain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this file. There we go, download all sizes. And I'm going to download it full resolution. There we go. And I'm going to save this image as, and I'm going to put this in my downloads. Here we go. Perfect. Now I've got it downloaded. Lovely, jubbly. And there we go. So now I can close this. What I should do actually is I should look to see if we can get some more information. So I'm going to do that. Alan Turing, perfect. There we go. And what I'm going to do up here to use Purple Mash is I'm going to upload from my PC, and I'm going to go to downloads. I'm going to find the picture, and I'm just going to put that in. Perfect. Yeah, that looks good. Let's just do that as is. I don't need to do anything more about it. Brilliant. Now I've got a picture of Alan Turing. And what else do I do? Well, here we go. Name, Alan Turing. Date of birth. I don't know his date of birth. Let's go back to Wikipedia and have a look. 23rd of June 1912. In fact, because I want to get all this information, what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight it, right click it and copy it, and then I'm going to paste it down here. Then I don't have to keep going back and forth. Let's see, paste. There we go. Brilliant. So here we go. I can even put in his thing here, Matheson. What an unusual middle name. He's born 23rd of June 1912, and he died 7th of June 1954. And I like the age 41, so I'm going to put that in there because I think he did die very young. Brilliant. I don't need this anymore. Let's get rid of all that. Brilliant. What's he famous for? Well, Alan Turing is famous for being one of the people who first invented the computer. And not just that, he used the computers to help in World War II. He helped solve the code that the Germans, the Nazis, were using at that time. He created a very famous machine called the Enigma machine. And there's lots of films about him, so I'm going to say famous for work in computing, that's cracking the German, and German is a nationality, so I'm going to put it with a capital letter, Enigma. In fact, Enigma, I think, is a proper noun. In World War II. Oh, do you know what? I don't like the way this has gone over 2 lines. I'm going to try and keep it on. So I'm going to say work in computing. I'm just going to say, instead of saying the German, cracking the Enigma code. There we go. In World War II. Because the adjective is not necessary. Just send a bit of information. And so what I want to do is I want to put some stuff in here. Introduction, birth, early life. So this is what I'm going to write about. I'm going to say Alan Turing was one of the first computer scientists. And here I'm just going to talk about his life. Later I'm going to go into his personal life. One foe. Let's change that to one of the first computer scientists. Let's see if we can find some more information about that. Career and research. Here we go. What's some good stuff here? Here we go. Okay. I want to find out some stuff about his education here. So he attended, let's see, St. Michael's School and King's College, Cambridge. Attended St. Michael's School and King's. Oh, is it King's with the apostrophe S or King's as in more than one king? Let's have a look. Yeah, one apostrophe S. King's College, Cambridge, where he studied. What did he study? Bum bum bum. Mathematics. I'm just going to say maths. You could say mathematics. I'm going to say maths. Just double check because I've made a mistake there. So Michael Scores. So he was one of the first people to work on cryptanalysis, which is the study of breaking codes. Brilliant. Okay, this is looking really good. I'm hoping we can do some code breaking as well in computing coming up. His work was to breaking the Enigma code, which German forces used in World War II. In fact, I said WW2 here, but I'm actually going to write it up here. World War II. To prevent their messages being listened to, intercept. I think I'm going to intercept. It's not so much it stopped them being intercepted, but it stopped them being understood. Perhaps I'll change that and being say understood when they were intercepted. Brilliant. He was famous for creating, let's see, a computer to help try and break the code, which was called Bomber. Brilliant. I could put more information here, but I don't want to spend too much time just making you watch everything I've written, so I'm just going to leave that there, and this will be more stuff. Then I want to talk about his personal life. I'll say, although Alan was engaged to a woman called Joan, they never married, and in fact Alan was a homosexual, or he was gay. However, at the time, being gay was illegal. Despite his work during the war, and let's see if we can find out what happens afterwards. Here we go. Alan was convicted of indecency for being with another man in 1952. Very good. As a result, and this is the really nasty stuff, he had to take hormone treatment that changed the way he felt. Long after his death in 2009, then Prime Minister Gordon Brown issued a formal apology to Alan and to all other I was going to say gays here, but I'm going to say homosexuals. It's a bit more formal. Homosexual just means people who love the same gender as them. That's what homo means the same. Like in homophone. Whereas hetero means different. So if you're heterosexual, then you like people who are different. If you're bisexual, you like both, because bi means two. Who suffered similar treatment. In 2013, the Queen formally pardoned him. And I'm going to use a technical word here, posthumously. I hope I've spelled this one correctly. In fact, I'm not sure if I have, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my tab, I'm going to paste it in here. I have, perfectly. Posthumous means after the death of the originator, in this case, after his death. Alan Turing's legacy is included in things like his Turing test, which he suggested would be used to test if a robot could act like a human. It is still used today for things like chatbots and captchas. So if you know, especially when we are all Googling the same thing on the iPads in school, you'll sometimes get these things where the computer will ask you to click things like, say, click all the traffic lights or spot all the people with skis or something like this. And it's to prove that you're not a robot. And this is actually part of the Turing test, because you can do this, but a computer would have real difficulty. So you prove that you can do it, and then you also help teach the AI so it gets better. And this is what's called the Turing test, which is based after Alan Turing. Let me just have a look at this, quickly look through to see if there's anything else I want to add. No, I think this is looking pretty good. So just down here, I'm going to write by Mr. Davies, and I should be ready to save it. So I'm going to go save, and I'm going to save Alan Turing fact file. I'm going to say, I could call it biography, I'm going to call it fact file. There we go. Now, you don't have to do it in Purple Mesh. If you prefer, you could make your own poster. But if you do it on this poster, I still want you to include these things. I want a picture, I want a fact box here, and I want a bit of writing. Probably not as much as I've written here, but try and get it in some paragraphs. And I'd suggest use your biography skills to go look on Wikipedia about the person and find out more. I've put a list of suggested people on the blog who you can look at, but if you've got someone in mind, you could absolutely do that too. Good luck, and please do ask me if you've got any questions.